Good morning. It's the second last day of my hike of the Great Southwest Walk. I'm here at Trawalla Camp and it started getting quite windy overnight, and I'm not sure if you can hear that now, but it's fairly windy. The idea for today was I wanted to try and get away fairly early to try and get to the next campsite, which is Mallee, which is a 15-kilometre hike today. There is some rain expected after probably sometime in the afternoon. There was a little bit that just came through before, so I was hoping to really beat all of the rain by getting to the campsite earlier, but who knows what the weather might do. So yeah, the wind's blowing from the northeast at the moment, and it's going to swing around to the west a bit later in the day, and they are expecting showers and pretty gusty winds. So yeah, a bit of a hairy day of weather, but yeah, I just wanted to try and get this hike done early today so I can sort of hunker down at the campsite a bit and hopefully see out the worst of whatever rain might come. I'm hiking up to Cape Nelson. That's where the lighthouse is, and it'll be hiking just along the other side of Bridgewater Bay. So, and then just around the other side of Cape Nelson there is where Mallee Camp is. So that is the destination for today. So about to head out into this wild windy weather. I don't think this is supposed to be a landmark on the Great Southwest Walk, but there it is. Random shipping containers washed up on the beach. So as you're making your way around Bridgewater Bay, there's something to look out for. Pretty random. Anyway, I'm making my way along the beach, and it's actually nice to do beach walking today after all the hills yesterday. So at some point it's going to head back up onto the cliffs again, but the tide's going out as well, so it's all sort of favouring me. Plus I'm actually sheltered from the winds here at the moment as they're blowing from the northeast, so that's why I was hoping I wanted to try and get around the other end of the bay before the wind swings around to the west. So hopefully that might be a plan that could work out. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so lesson learned. Don't ever follow Google Maps for hiking trails. I just happened to be following it for this little bit along the beach because there wasn't really an obvious marker to get up off the beach. And instead of going to inspect something that had a whole bunch of stuff that had come out of the ocean, like rubbish and stuff, sort of up on the sandbank, I was looking at the maps on Google and thought I'd overshot the mark, so I went back along the beach trying to find the exit point and ended up bush bashing through all of this stuff. And then I'd actually seen a staircase going up the cliff. Anyway, I went back to go and inspect this thing after all, and as it turned out it was the marker, so I cut myself up bush bashing through all this stuff trying to find what I thought was the trail, and it just wasn't it at all. So yeah, just don't follow Google Maps for this kind of stuff. It's just inaccurate. Anyway, lesson learned. I've been following the actual map most of the way, so I will continue to do that from now on. So I've just come up this massive set of stairs that goes through the soft sand, and the views are pretty awesome from here, and there's actually just a seat here you can have a rest at the top, but it is a bit of a slog to get up there, particularly after I just expended a whole bunch of energy going through the coastal scrub. So anyway, I'm on the cliff tops now and about to continue along there, and this heads out to Cape Nelson, and out to the lighthouse a little bit later on. Good afternoon. I am here at the final campsite on the Great Southwest Walk at Mallee Camp, and I got in here about 1:30 this afternoon, so the timing couldn't have been better because it actually just started raining literally minutes after I walked in under the shelter. So I just got there in time when the westerly change came through, and there was a bit of rain with that, not a huge amount, but it just meant I could at least stay dry when I got here, so that was good. So I feel like I haven't really done much this afternoon, but one of the biggest challenges I've had is getting my tent pitched here. This campsite and the last one at Trawalla both have really sandy soil. In fact, this one's just pretty much all sand. So it's just really difficult if you have a trekking pole tent like I do, and not freestanding. It's really difficult to pitch it. Here at Mallee, they've got a number of sort of platforms where you can pitch. I made an attempt at that a bit earlier, and the wind's just whipping around so much. I actually got it all pitched, and then the wind was just ripping the tent pegs out of the ground, so I gave up on that idea. And when nature throws a challenge at you, you've got to come up with creative solutions. So this is what I've come up with. The most unusual pitch of my new tent so far, but it seems to have worked, and I managed to use only 5 pegs for it. So it means that the only thing I can't do is just close the doors to the vestibule tonight, because that guy rope is otherwise preoccupied. However, I am actually underneath the main shelter here, and I don't think it's going to really be a concern because I'm pretty sure there's no one else coming into the shelter tonight. But, well, that was a challenge. So, yeah, I guess that's a tip for anyone who's looking to do the walk. If you do have a trekking pole type tent that doesn't use tent poles and is not freestanding, then these two campsites, Trawalla and Mallee, can be a real challenge because there's just nothing to get the stake sort of bedded into. No, okay if there's no wind, but yeah, if it's a windy day like it is today and it's just gusting, then yeah, my tent just got ripped back out of the ground when I first pitched it. Anyway, that's my creative solution for the last night on the Great Southwest Walk, and it means that I have shelter underneath the shelter, so there you go. So yeah, it's just before 6 o'clock now. I had a pretty interesting afternoon up on the Cape Nelson walk because it was just so windy up there, and there were parts of the trail where I was really close to the edge of a cliff, and the wind was actually sort of pushing me sideways towards the edge of the cliff, which drops straight down into the ocean pretty much. So that was a little bit touch and go. I had to really kind of stabilise myself with trekking poles and stuff on that little section. However, got through that all right. Managed to stop at the Lighthouse Cafe for a coffee and a muffin there, which was good. It was a nice little respite from the crazy weather as well. And then it's only a very short hike from the lighthouse to here. So yeah, it was not too bad a day walking, just really windy. And I obviously had that little challenge earlier in the day with trying to find the trail up off the beach. So tomorrow is the final day. I've got another 21.7 k's to Portland, and that is the final leg of this hike. So I'll probably try and get away at a reasonable hour and get started. I think it's going to be another sort of similar day to this, quite windy again, maybe a little bit of rain, but I just want to try and get packed up here, not too late, and then hit the final leg. So yeah, that's another day done. One with a few challenges that got thrown up, but you know, that's all part of the fun. So anyway, I will talk to you guys again tomorrow on the final day of the Great Southwest Walk.